Hi everyone, it's Janice from a Catholic Girl's Diary. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about Our Lady of Guadalupe. So today being December 12th marks the anniversary of Mother Mary's apparition to a humble peasant known as Juan Diego in the year 1531 in a city known as Guadalupe. This was during the time when South America was under the rule of a civilization and a religion known as the Aztec, who were known to sacrifice human beings to their god. And Mary, after Mary's apparition to this country, millions of people have been converted to Christianity and to Catholicism, and this apparently was during the time when there had been a vast conversion of Catholics to the Protestantism after Martin Luther came over, and after this apparition of Mother Mary during the 1500s in Guadalupe, many people reconverted back to Catholicism. So this is just a profound apparition in the Catholic Church. And so let's see, this goes like this. In December 9th, 1531, Juan Diego, who was a Christian convert, he was on his way to attend Mass. And while he was on his way, he had to pass this famous hill known as Tepeyac Hill. And at the top of the hill, he immediately saw a radiantly beautiful woman who later confirmed to him that she was the Virgin Mary. Okay, and then what she advises Juan Diego is that for him to instruct the bishop that she wants a chapel to be built in honor of her. So, however, when Juan Diego went to the bishop and told this to him, although he did accept him kindly, he was pretty reluctant to believe it. So what Juan Diego does was he was pretty disappointed by the reluctance that he got from the bishop, and he goes back to Mother Mary and he tells him about what had happened. So in December 10th, that was the very next day, Juan Diego, he tries to go to the bishop's house to try again and tell him. And then this time the bishop tells Juan Diego to ask this lady who has told him to build a chapel in honor of her to show him a sign in order to confirm her request and her apparition. So then Juan Diego goes back and he tells Mary that this was what the bishop had requested, and Mother Mary, she later promises that she will fulfill it the next day when he returns to Tepeyac Hill. But what happens the next day on December 11th was that Juan Diego's uncle fell seriously ill. And so he was unable to keep the appointment he had kept with Mary that day. And he was now too concerned about finding a medical doctor and a priest in order to celebrate the last religious rites for his uncle. Okay, so what happened on December 12th was early in the morning, Juan Diego, when he was on his way to visit his uncle, he had avoided the route where he had met Mary many times, and he took out an alternative route because he was afraid that he might meet Mary again. But what happens instead was Mother Mary appears to him in this alternate road that he had taken away. And then she tells him, she asks Juan Diego why did he miss out his appointment, and then he gives his excuse. And then what Mary does is, in order to console him, she says, "Your uncle will not die of this sickness. Be assured that he is healthy." So what has happened on that morning was Mother Mary had appeared to his uncle and has healed him of his illness. Juan Diego was greatly relieved when he heard this news, and then Mary again instructs Juan Diego to go back to the top of the hill and to gather flowers once he finds there. So once he goes back to the top of the hill, this is usually a place where you will not expect roses or any blossoming flowers, but rather thorny bushes and only weeds. So he was greatly surprised when he found out that there were these lovely roses. So what he does was he takes these roses and he gathers in his Tilma and he goes back to Mother Mary. Mother Mary arranges them in his mantle or the Tilma and then tells him to go back to the bishop. So when Juan Diego arrives before the bishop, he opens his Tilma, and the roses which he had collected falls to the floor. And now what happens here was the Tilma immediately revealed a beautiful portrait of Mother Mary fabric of this Juan Diego's Tilma. The bishop and the entire household who were there at that moment were filled with amazement. And not long after this incident, a chapel was built in honor of Mother Mary. This Tilma has had a profound impact to the Catholic Church, and not only to the Catholic Church but to the scientific community as well. So there has been several studies that have been conducted on this Tilma, and they have confirmed of its supernatural nature. Okay, so there had been apparently a study in 1970 by Philip C. Callahan, who was a research biophysicist at the University of Florida. So he ruled out brush strokes over painting, varnish, sizing, or even preliminary drawings by an artist in the body of the image. And he concluded that the original image of the Tilma has qualities of color and uses the weave of the cloth in such a way that the image could not have been done by the work of human hands. So this is just one of the many different studies, scientific studies that have been carried out in the Tilma. It has also been studied that the arrangement of the stars on the mantle of Mother Mary will represent the constellation of the stars on that particular day when she had appeared to Juan Diego. So 7 million people have visited this shrine in Mexico every year. And popes throughout the ages have recognized Our Lady of Guadalupe, and Pope John the 23rd was the first to call her the Virgin Mother of the Americas on October 12, 1961. So John Paul II was the first pope to visit the Guadalupe shrine on January 27, 1979, and on January 23rd, 3 years later, Pope John Paul II referred to all the Americas as one single continent called the Virgin of Guadalupe, Mother of America. And he later canonized Juan Diego as a saint in July 31st, 2002. So that's about it, guys, and that is pretty much a brief summary of Our Lady of Guadalupe. If you are really very curious about learning about Our Lady of Guadalupe, I'll drop in some links to the description below where you could go and read about reading these websites about the several scientific studies that they have done on this Tilma. It's just amazing to know that, and it certainly is a miraculous image of Mother Mary that will help you in your faith. So I hope this video has helped you guys a lot, and Mom and I have a special devotion to her. So yeah. Alright guys, so I hope this video helps you, and I wish you all a very blessed feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. See you guys, bye, God bless you.